Adam here, So Wizard Podcast. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Yutaka Takeuchi to talk about his new movie, Drive All Night. If you watched the interview that I posted yesterday with Peter Shea, the director of the movie, you'll know that I love this movie. And getting to talk to not only the director, but now the lead actor in the movie was very cool. And Yutaka's career has been awesome. I mean, this guy moved from Japan with a massive language barrier to LA to pursue his dream of acting. And his first project was a Tom Cruise movie. We get into it in the interview, so I don't want to give too much away. But he's been in a Tom Cruise movie. He's worked with Nicolas Cage. He's worked with Clint Eastwood. He was in Letters from Iwo Jima. He's part of the Marvel Extended Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Netflix universe. This guy's been in some seriously cool stuff. He's a really nice guy. And we got to talk about his experience making Drive All Night, which is currently playing at Cinequest through the 30th, which you can get an online rental to see this movie, and I recommend that you do. But for now, enjoy the interview. Hey everyone, Adam here, So Wizard Podcast. I'm sitting down with Yutaka Takeuchi. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. Okay, I wanted to make sure again. Thanks for taking the time to come on.
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. You have a new movie that's at a film festival right now, Drive All Night, which is very cool. But before we get there, I want to go back to the beginning. When did you realize you wanted to be an actor? What was that creative spark?
So it was in 1994-ish, I guess. I was working at the bar in the countryside in Japan, in my hometown. That was a slow night, and we had 3 TVs in the bar, and one of them was showing this award ceremony where Will Smith received some award, and he gave a speech. And I was just watching it, and it looked fun. And that was it. And I decided to become an actor in Hollywood, although I had no acting background. Nobody from my family had ever been in entertainment business, so I didn't speak English, but just because it looked really fun. So it strikes me as fun, and then that was it.
Oh, wow.
I came to Los Angeles in 2000, so it took me about probably 5 years because I had to work hard and save some money, and
Yeah. And did you start learning English then for your move?
Well, I was studying English, but basically only grammars and reading, and because as far as I remember, I didn't get to speak any English in my hometown. So until I really came over here, I wasn't able to improve my speaking ability or listening ability even. And so, I started out at the ESL, the English as Second Language. I went to school for about 1.5 years.
Okay. And you were fully immersed, so you probably picked it up relatively quickly?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I was able to speak fluently when I got drunk. But in general, like all the other Japanese. I mean, most of Japanese. I'm really. I was so afraid of making mistakes, so that was really blocking me from improving my speaking skills.
Yeah. I feel what you mean there. I mean, I never moved to a foreign country with a different language, but anytime I try to learn anything in a new language, I'm always so afraid of sounding dumb or getting it wrong. So I definitely,
that's
sure a lot of people understand.
Yeah, drinking helps.
Yeah, okay. I'll remember that. So when you first got over here and you started taking ESL classes, were you trying to get auditions right away, or were you kind of working?
Because I was here with a student visa, which didn't allow me to work legally. So I basically focused on studying English until I got the working permit.
Okay.
And so as soon as I got the working permit, I jumped in an acting class. And a few months later, I got this audition, the very first audition. That was for The Last Samurai, and then I got the part.
Okay, cool. And that was, I mean, I think more of that movie was in Japanese than was in English, so that might have,
Hmm.
did that kind of help you get the role, being a
Well, I mean,
fluent speaker?
yeah, I believe so. But I mean, back then, it's just I didn't know anything about anything. But I mean, the starring Tom Cruise, and then the Warner Brothers was making it. So I believed the movie should be something big and big enough and good enough, and I auditioned for it. I didn't even have an agent or manager, but I auditioned for it, and I still don't know I mean, today why I got it, but I got it, and ever since that project, yeah, it's been going. I've been lucked out.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your resume, you've been in some huge, awesome projects. I mean, to start on a Tom Cruise Warner Brothers movie, that's a big start. Did you find those first few projects while you were still learning the trade and still learning English? Did they help you kind of hit the ground running as far as like this is how it is to be on a set, or did you
Yeah,
feel like a fish out of water?
I still, I mean, both. I felt kind of
Both,
still a
yeah.
fish out of the water, but yeah.
Okay, it's just interesting. Everyone has a different background when they get into acting, so you had
Hmm.
the extra hurdle of the language barrier. So I'm just trying to, get in that headspace of how confusing it must be to be on a movie set. Period,
Well,
and then.
yeah, I remember that when I worked on Grey's Anatomy was
Mhm.
2005, 6, 7. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I learned and memorized all the lines. And then when I showed up on set on the actual filming day, I was sent to my trailer, and there was a little, copy of the script, the shooting script. And I took a look at it, and the dialogue was kind of different from what I memorized. So I was actually secretly panicked.
Some day of rewrites you weren't ready for.
Yeah, but in those situations, your ability to concentrate gets really high, I guess, and I was able to handle it somehow.
Okay. How did you go about memorizing the dialogue? I mean, by then you were done with your ESL class. You said it was only like a year and a half. So did you have a firm enough grasp, or did you really have to drill and drill and drill?
Yeah, drill and drill and drill and drill. And now, I mean, for I don't know, for the past uh, more than a few years, I always write the entire scene that I'm in, which helps me memorize the lines. I also, without missing a beat, without missing anything, any tiny detail. Because when I just read it, sometimes I skip without knowing it. But when I write from the top to the bottom, like every single word, that way that it helps me from not, I mean, missing anything.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
And also,
They do
yeah,
say,
helps me memorize.
yeah, right, because they say like the act of writing it opposed to like typing it, even you
Hmm.
memorize it that much better.
Yeah,
That's interesting, and that helped you with the bilingual aspect too. I'm guessing.
yeah.
Okay. So once you started getting a few of these auditions and you started getting into it, you got more comfortable. Was there any kind of roles you were seeking out more than others, even like broad, like movies over TV, or were you just kind of trying out for?
Me, I don't really look for a specific role. Or I don't. Honestly, I don't have any preference, but I actually think more like there are actors or directors that I like to work with. That excites me more, to be
Okay,
honest.
who's doing the project rather than what the project's about?
Or also as well as the story itself.
Well,
Obviously,
of
I mean the
course, you have to
script
be
itself.
interested in
Yeah,
some way. Yeah, you're probably
yeah.
not going to read a script that you hate and you're like, but I like this guy, I'll do it. How was that audition process, and how has it changed in the time that you've been here? Because now you have a big resume, and
Well, my personal experience is before I was going to any audition I could get, doesn't matter the size of the part. But now, I try to select with my manager. So which doesn't actually increase the number of auditions, unfortunately, because of I'm still a part of the I belong to a minority group. So yeah, the statistically the number of auditions actually decreased, but I get the better part. I mean, audition for the better part, which is really great. And with the Drive All Night, the Peter Shea, the writer director, he actually approached me, sent me, I mean, offered me with the script. So I hope that'll happen more often
Yeah, that's
in the
probably a
future.
great feeling.
Yeah.
Uh, Before we get there, I do have to ask because our podcast is very like genre specific, and now you're part of the Marvel universe, which is like the hugest thing going. What was that experience like?
Uh, that was a big production for sure.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
moving parts on that one.
yeah, but my well, I think I have to say the action part was the biggest to me. I had never done that many action scenes before, and I didn't know I would be able to enjoy that much. Uh, of course, with the help of my stunt double or all the stunt guys and ladies on
Mhm.
set, the stunt team was amazing, and with those guys' help, yeah, I mean, I really, really enjoyed all the actions personally, and I think I would like to do again. Doesn't have to be for Marvel universe, but I would love to do another flick with the action.
Okay, cool. Did you get to like train up at all? I mean, you said you had a stunt double, of course, but
Yeah. I was trained a little bit in advance, and which was also nice. I mean, honestly, I really enjoy it.
yeah, it looks fun. So, and are their sets much different from any other set you've been on? Because they're such like a go 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 kind of machine.
Well, the biggest difference to me was like everything was in secret.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wasn't able to say a word about it, and which, yeah, so I basically didn't say anything about it to anybody. That was really strict. I was surprised.
Were you even able to say like I have a role with a Marvel project, or was it just
I
like I'm
didn't say
working on
that.
something? I'll let you know.
I remember even they had a sign. When you go near the filming set, they usually have like a yellow sign that says the name of the production.
Mhm.
But they even have a different name on it.
Okay, so there was no way to get spoilers out
Yeah,
there. Yeah, that would add a layer of stress too.
yeah. I really wanted to say out loud, but
Yeah, it's
I
exciting. Like you want to tell everybody, but
was really excited.
that's awesome. I just had to touch on that. I know that's not what we're here for, but it's just such a huge thing, and we're
Yeah.
very genre specific on our channel. So, but
Hmm.
Drive All Night, we should probably get into that. You said the director, who's also the writer, approached you and offered you the role, so that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
And was that the first communication you had with him, or had you talked in the past?
No, no, really. That was the first time. I mean, he sent a script through my manager.
Okay. So he sought you out specifically. It's not like you ran into each other.
No, he saw some maybe few projects that I've worked on before, and he approached me. And the interesting thing is that the role that I played was a taxi driver,
Hmm.
and I had never driven a taxi before, but coincidentally, a few days before he approached me, I started driving with Uber.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, I didn't know he was going to approach me with a
Right.
taxi driver's part, but yeah, I just happened to. I was interested in driving with Uber, meeting random people, and so I started doing it. And a few days later, yeah, he approached me with a script, and he wanted me to read the part Dave, which is a taxi driver. So I took it as okay, I'm meant to do this. I said yes.
Did you read the whole script before you committed, or was it just kind of
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
like it was the right?
I did read it. I did
Okay.
read it, but I mean, there were so, I had so many questions when I
Hmm.
first read it. Have you seen the movie yet?
I have. I really
Okay.
liked it. I was really excited to talk to you because I love the movie. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really had so many questions about the script. I didn't really understand a lot of things. So I remember when I first talked to him on the phone, we had maybe 2 to 3 hours of conversation, just basically me asking him questions and questions.
Okay. Did he give you every last detail that you needed?
Mostly, yes.
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
know the movie is, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it,
Mhm.
but I know the movie's intentionally not vague in a way that you're not going to understand what's going on, but they don't spoon feed it to you either.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were on the inside, so you got all the information.
Yes, but still, I mean, I gotta tell you that yeah, during the principal photography, I I usually try to see at least the entire picture of it as
Hmm.
I'm working on set. But at some point, I just had to give up on what he was visualizing, and I said, well, I mean, I think I can't I can't keep up with it, so I'll just rely on you 100% and tell me if I'm doing anything wrong. And yeah,
So you just kind of had to go scene to scene and
yeah.
didn't. Wow. That might make it a little bit harder, but I guess your character's role in the movie is, I mean, you were the driver, but you were in a lot of ways along for the ride.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I guess that kind of works in that way, which is interesting.
I mean, I understood the core of the story, and that
Yeah.
was good enough for me. I didn't really understand the final cut of the movie, but sometimes I really try to control things,
Hmm.
and that's. But I mean, this time I gave up on it.
Okay. Was the shoot really segmented? Because there's like a whole B plot where it seems like there's a guy hunting you and the woman that you're with for the majority of the
Are they
movie.
hunting her? Yeah,
Hunting her, right? Yeah, but
yeah.
you're with her the whole time, right?
Hmm.
Um, were you there for those shoot days? Because
Well, I mean, I didn't get interacted with that guy.
mhm.
As far as I remember, obviously, I mean, I met and talked to him on set, but I don't think we had any scene together.
Right, yeah, that's why I'm asking because you were saying it was hard for you to see the finished product as you were doing it, but there was not a huge chunk, but a chunk of the movie that your character wasn't
Hmm.
directly in. So I was wondering if that was part of the disconnect.
No, it's more like a dreamlike sequences.
Okay.
Yeah, those are really. Sometimes I really didn't know what I was doing, and I had to ask him, "What am I doing? Is this really happening, or it's not? It's only happening in my head, or is it really happening for real?" And yeah, stuff like that.
And without going into details, because we don't want to spoil it for people, did those, based on his answer, did that drastically change the way how you played a scene?
No,
You just wanted to
no.
know?
Yeah, I just wanted to know because I mean, I understood in my own way. I had my own interpretation, which seemed working, so I just kept it. And yeah, but sometimes I just asked him, "Is this really happening or not really
Okay,
happening?"
cool. There's a lot of kind of pop culture references, like it kind of lives in the video game world a little bit
Mhm.
and gets into some not trivia exactly, but details like that. Is that stuff in your wheelhouse at all?
Excuse me, can you ask
Uh,
again?
the pop culture aspects of it, like the
Hmm.
video game lore and that whole
Yeah.
side of it, is that something that you're naturally interested in, or was that all new information?
Yes, yes, but not that. I mean, that's really. I used to play video game a lot, so I love. I mean, I like playing games, but not probably not as much as Peter does. He probably loves video games so much. That's why most of the information about the games, video games, I really didn't know until I read it and then did a research about it.
Okay. it goes kind of deep. For people listening, it's like at the level of like Ready Player One, where it's
Right.
so in this kind of culture. So I thought that was cool. But I guess again, your character was listening to it, so you wouldn't
Hmm.
necessarily need to know it all. I was just wondering if that's what drew you in.
Yeah, in advance. Yeah, I didn't really know that as much as I mean, I found out afterwards. When I went to set, I asked Peter about those details, and then I understood. But till then, I really didn't know that much. But
Right.
I just have no, it's not a question. So since you saw the movie, but did you like the music?
I did. It had that kind of throwback vibe to it, even though it's a very modern set story.
I loved it.
Yeah. It really set the tone perfectly.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
From
it
the
kept the
from the
movie
beginning.
alive. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I did actually have the opportunity to talk to Peter too, which was really cool because I'm, getting inside the movie as much as anyone who watches a movie can. Um, he said that the guy who did the sound was on set all the time too. I forget he had another
yeah.
position.
He had I think he was working as AD,
That sounds right. Yeah.
or more multiple roles.
Mhm.
Because
Well,
it's in
yeah,
a
on an indie
yeah,
movie set, yeah, I guess everyone has to wear multiple hats to get the job done.
yeah.
Were you did you get like an inside scoop on the score as you were making the movie and you're like, "Oh, that's what this feels like."
No, no, I really didn't.
Oh,
So that when I
okay.
first saw the movie, I really, especially the opening, I mean, I really, really excited me. I really got excited when I first saw the opening, especially.
That's really cool because, me talking to you, I figure you were there. You know everything about it. You know it in and out, but the final product is a surprise to you too in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much I should tell you, but actually, from the script, I mean, in the script, yeah, there's a big difference between the script and the movie, which, uh, I mean, Peter once said, I think it'll, oh no, just forget about it. There was a
Okay.
little difference, but
You don't want to give
it's
things away,
fine. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting too because again the further difference. But yeah, we don't have to keep going on that. I don't want you to accidentally say something you didn't want
yeah.
to say.
I don't want to
Aside from
spoil
the
anything.
music, was there anything in the final cut that was a big surprise to you? Like maybe even a scene that you shot and you were like, "Oh, that's what that was."
Not that way, but as I said, there was a little, not little, there was a one big difference uh, between the final cut and the script.
Oh, it's
So
something you shot.
I mean, we well,
Okay, sorry, we don't have to. I don't
I
mean to keep
don't
putting you
really
on the
know how
spot.
to describe it, but it's just uh, I'm sure that after the screening, if you buy a ticket and watch the movie at the Cinequest,
Hmm.
they're gonna show you the Q&A recorded video afterwards, and I think Peter mentioned about that difference in that video
Okay, we'll leave
Q&A.
it at that then. Yeah, sorry, I'll get
Yeah,
away from that topic.
because that was a really really big difference. So that was the biggest surprise when I first saw the final cut.
Very cool. That's also a really good teaser you set up. So now people have to go buy the ticket to Cinequest to get the answer that we're talking about.
Yeah, see the Q&A
Perfect.
video
Yeah,
afterwards.
good marketing. How was the shoot on that? If I remember right, it was really short and obviously a lot of nights.
Yes, I mean, I can't remember exactly how many days we filmed. It was really a week or two at most. And mostly we were stuck in a room, I mean, a gym. They placed a taxi cab in it. And so basically I was driving in the car, which was parked inside the gym. And they projected all the night views, the city views around the car. And it was really surreal itself. You know,
Yeah. Wow. It looks
I
real. It looks legit.
yeah, yeah, I was surprised too.
And was it I mean you're in it got to be 80% of the movie. So did you find that kind of maybe not intimidating but a lot to take on?
The no, it was fine. It was fine, but the only thing was there was a day or two was extremely hot and sweating like crazy, and that was the only thing that it had to be stopped once or twice because it was just too hot. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I was fine with everything else.
Okay. You seem like you just kind of roll with things, like really easygoing. So
Yeah, I mean, the other day was when I was interviewed, I answered the question that my process of approaching the character with the preparation. I usually do everything I can think of, and I don't believe there's one specific way that works for everyone. So I do everything to prepare myself, and then once I do it, and once the filming starts, I do my best to forget everything I have done, and believe everything I need is in me, and really be on set and being with the other actor and see where it goes.
okay.
And Peter was really, I mean, he is really generous. He's open to different choices, and so I really had fun.
Yeah, and for this kind of movie, again, I'm trying to be really vague because I don't want to give it away to people because they should definitely see it. It was
Sure,
really
yeah,
good. Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Your character kind of is supposed to be that. I mean, I don't want to say he's an empty vessel because he's not like mentally not there. He's present.
Right,
He's intelligent, but he's kind of the sounding board for your co-star to bounce off of. Is that a
right. Yeah, you could
yeah,
say that. Yeah, but
yeah.
my interpretation is like his unconsciousness wants to go one direction, but because of maybe the past experience or whatever happened to him in the past, which prevents him from going that direction, and to consciously try to stop from going that direction until the character. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I see what you're saying. Like he's kind
yeah.
of got his guards up, and then he learns through the
Mhm.
course of the night. Maybe he doesn't need to.
Yeah, because I believe everyone, including myself, like I always get scared when I have to step into the unknown.
Hmm.
And but that's really how I saw this character.
It's funny you say you are scared to step into the unknown when you move to a different continent to learn a new language to take on a new career.
Yeah, well, I was young, and also I really didn't know anything about it, and so yeah, what they say, the ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
It's Yeah, it's really true. I mean, I didn't know how tough it would be and how hard it would be. I mean, I really didn't know anything about it, so I just jumped, and
that's awesome.
somehow, yeah.
The character Kara, I forget the actress's name. I'm really bad with names. Sorry,
Lexi
Alexa.
Hammond.
Yeah, you had a lot of scenes with her, and the kind of relationship that develops between the two characters is really interesting because it seems like there was a lot of mutual respect and maybe not as far as love and not in like a romantic way. But do you want to talk about how that relationship kind of developed?
Well, again, really, we were stuck in a taxi cab for a long time every single day, which definitely helped.
You had no choice but to get to know her.
Yeah, besides the conversation we had off behind the camera, but basically, yeah, I mean, while they were preparing the equipment or doing preparation for the next shot, yeah, we were really stuck in a taxi cab in a small room, and I don't know what we talked about, but got to know each other well, and I think that really helped.
Yeah, it really does translate to the screen because it seems like you just met him, but you're old friends at the same time, or just met her, but you're old friends at the same time. Yeah, it's very good. I want to ask more questions, but I don't want to give it away for people, and I don't want to have you say something you maybe didn't want to say. So I'm trying to kind of
Okay,
dance around that.
sure,
I just
sure.
really enjoyed the movie. I liked the whole not open ending, but the here's all the pieces, you figure it out kind of ending. I just thought it all worked, it all fit. Like you mentioned, the music and the tone of it and the lighting. Was all that lighting practical effects, or was it a lot added in post?
No, they did it. Actually, they set up the using many different kind of gels, and I mean, I'm not familiar with the technical terms, but they
Right.
did it on set.
So you got
Yeah.
to feel the tone of the movie as you acted it.
Yes. Yes. It was very interesting, I have to say.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like Peter was really innovative in a lot of ways to get this vision across.
I believe so too. But I mean, back then and when we were filming, he tried to explain it, but I really didn't. It's the funny thing is because you've never seen it. Well, I had never seen something like this before, so it was so obviously it was not possible to picture it because I didn't have that picture in my head.
Hmm.
Although he tried to explain it to me, but now I saw it and then now I understand much more about what he was trying to convey.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because it isn't really. There's no like you can't say, oh, it's like this movie and this movie because it's not just
Mm,
a recycled story. It's totally original.
yeah.
Is that part of what drew you to the script in the first place?
No, the biggest thing is as I said the synchronicity. The
Okay, yeah.
synchronicity really yeah pushed me in the first place, and then started like getting interested in the story. Maybe because a lot of things I didn't understand, I was really curious and I wanted to know and started asking him questions, and he gave me answers, and which got me even more interested in the story, the script, and you know, and on
So you
and
just
on.
went deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's
like
probably a lot of
digging. I
fun.
mean,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know. So I mean, just what do you call the going into the rabbit hole?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. And that's kind of what I was going to say is it's probably fun to have a role that you like it when you read it, and then when you're there, it goes deeper and deeper. You're constantly
Hmm.
discovering. Even after
Absolutely.
you were
Yeah.
done filming, you were still discovering when you got to see the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get to see it with a crowd?
No, that's what I'm
No.
really hoping to do is sometime soon. I mean, that's also a fun part being at the film festival or the
Hmm.
theater with the live audience and you feel the vibe and see the movie together. That's one of the biggest fun I always have as an actor was storyteller.
Yeah.
I miss that. I really do.
Yeah, hopefully things start to. I mean, for a lot of reasons, things start to improve. But I know you're going to be on the festival circuit for a while because I think this is going to keep getting picked up. I mean, I don't know anything you don't know, but it just seems like the kind of movie that's going to word of mouth is going to take it a long way.
Sure, yeah.
So hopefully you get that shot.
I mean, I do. I really do.
Well, since we're on COVID, kind of elephant in the room, have you been auditioning, doing tapes and self tapes and stuff like that?
Yes, self tape. Yeah, me. I mean, every single audition I get these days is self tape audition. Yes, I do,
And you've
but not
had,
as. I mean, mm,
I was going to say you've had enough to do.
well, never been enough.
Oh, okay.
I hope I'll get more,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm developing my own project right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm really, yeah, doing this COVID. I have one story that I'm really focusing on, and yeah, that's been helping me.
Is it something you're writing a movie? I don't know if you don't want to say too much, but
Yes, yeah. It's a movie. It's gonna become a movie. It's based on the real person I met,
okay.
and I got his endorsement. I started writing, but obviously, I mean, I've been a storyteller. I mean, I have been acting, but I'm not writing. So this is really the first challenge, and but I'm enjoying it. I'm struggling, but I'm enjoying it. It's also another interesting way of telling a story, obviously, and
Oh,
I'm
for
loving
sure.
it.
Do you think you'd be directing that one as well?
No, I'm not thinking that far.
Oh, you're not even thinking that far ahead. It's not a no. You just
Well,
you're
no, no, I'm not,
not.
I'm not really. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think because I'm planning to play the lead,
Okay, that
and
makes
if I
sense.
play the lead, I don't think I could afford to direct it. That's. Yeah, I mean, I gotta kill myself.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, that's very cool. Maybe when that gets closer, we can sit down again. I don't want you to, give it all
Yeah,
away in the
yeah.
early stages. Awesome. Well, I don't want to eat up your whole evening. I think it's probably like dinner time there for you. So, do you want to tell people where they can find you online, find more of your work?
Uh, I I constantly update my Instagram account, but that's about it. I mean, I have Facebook account or Twitter account, but I mean not as often as I do with Instagram. So that's where I usually post something when something happens to me.
What's the handle?
And Instagram, it's Yutaka Yutaka 2011.
Okay, cool. And Drive All Night is at Cinequest, and I know it's going to be at more festivals, but Cinequest does have tickets for the public. You said, right?
Yes, and once you buy a ticket, you have I'm not sure what date it is today, but it's available until 30th, March
Okay.
30th. Until
Yeah.
then, you can watch anytime you want, and once you start watching, you have 48 hours to finish. I think
Okay,
that's
just like any
that
other
pretty
online
much is
rental,
it. Yeah.
basically. That's
Yeah.
very cool that they're doing that because I don't
hmm
live near a lot of festivals, and I know people miss the in-person festivals, but I like the digital version too, so that I can watch some movies.
Yeah, that's a good aspect of this virtual screen. I mean, the film festival. You don't have to be in a specific place. It can be watched from anywhere, anytime, which
Yeah.
is actually nice.
Right, yeah. I mean, maybe you get more eyes on overall, even though you kind of miss out on some of the
hmm
in-person experiences. Well, maybe they'll do a hybrid going forward.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Well, thank you
yeah,
very much
yeah.
for coming on and talking about the movie. I love the movie, like I said. I kind of wish we could have gone deeper, but I think the only way to go deeper would be to spoil it for people, which I don't want to do. So,
Right. Mhm.
well, thanks again. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it, and
Thank you.
good luck with
Yeah.
everything.
Thank you very much, Adam. I appreciate
Definitely.
it.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
I'd like to thank Yutaka Takeuchi one more time for coming on the show to talk to me. He's a very cool guy. Drive All Night's a very cool movie. I wish him the best of luck, but if you look at his IMDb page, he doesn't need any help from me wishing him luck. This guy is doing great things. Also, make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week wherever you get your podcasts. Please remember to subscribe to the channel as I do this out of order. It helps you stay in the loop. We have a ton more interviews and new movie coverage coming your way. You're not going to want to miss out. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, merchandise, videos, and more. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All the accounts can be found after the show and in the show notes. And on a more personal note, a really good friend and I released a comic book this past January. We got an issue coming out every month for the whole first chapter. Then we're going to put them together into a trade, and then jump right into chapter 2, releasing an issue a month, and so on and so on and so on. We have a lot of good things planned, a lot of good things written. Anyway, Social Studies is a comic, kind of a slice of life comedy comic about the American high school experience, obviously largely based on our high school experiences, but broadened out and trying to capture that feeling for everybody, and it's all done through the prism of the 90s cartoons that we grew up on. My friend Mike, who does the layouts, the penciling, the inking, co-writes it with me. I mean, you can see on my shirt here, his style is unique. He does a killer job. We're really proud of the book and everything we're doing. We'd love for you to check it out. We have them on digital for just $3 to get started. Try not to ask too much, but we hope that everyone enjoys the book. Thank you.